Tourism can create jobs in a place like Nigeria with so many young people. Good day, everyone. Welcome to Visit Edo Page. My name is Elizabeth. Please, if you're here for the first time, don't forget to follow our YouTube channel, Facebook, and Instagram. Today, I'm going to be talking about tourism. Tourism in different countries, especially Spain. How would you Spain as an example? Because Spain is one of the countries that has been successful, that has done it so well in terms of tourism. And whenever your neighbor or someone close to you has done it so well, or someone you know has done it so well, you have to look up to them. You have to see how have they done it, what did they do, how did they do it, and you have to follow. You can even send a letter. You can write to them wanting to know how they did it, how did they manage to succeed in it, and you learn from it and see how they succeed, what they did, and you learn. In a country like Nigeria that has so many youths, how can Nigeria youths benefit from tourism? When you think about tourism, I think about each state trying to do what they can, like what they are doing already. Today, I'm going to be talking about Edo State because that is what we are all about. We are Visit Edo because we want more people to visit Edo, we want more people to come to Edo, and we want more people to see Edo State, Benin, as a travel destination when they think travel. I've been talking to so many people recently about tourism in Edo State, and what I often get is, oh, Nigerians are not ready yet, or Nigeria's tourism is not something that they want to think about. That's not where they want to go, or that's a lot of answers. A lot of people have a lot of comments on what they think in terms of tourism in Nigeria. People often think they are not ready. There's never a time to be ready. It's just like when you want to think that you want to be ready for something, you will never be ready. The only thing you do in life, you take your chances. You go in, you try to do something, and you tell yourself you're ready for it. If you wait to be ready for something, you will never be ready, because I've never seen Nigeria being ready for anything since I was born. We all talk about the thing, and we're doing this, we're going to do that, but we're never ready. So let's not think about whether we are ready as a people to think about tourism or we're not ready. Let's take the chance and think about which country, which people have done it and be successful, which people have managed. If you look at South Africa, for example, South Africa has done very, very well in terms of tourism. They have been able to create a very different atmosphere, and they are doing their best. When you talk about Ghana, Ghana is also upcoming place destination that is even coming up in a lot of countries now on their list, and thinking, oh, Ghana is there. What have they done? They've made that tourism part attractive, that people start to think about, okay, Ghana, when they are thinking of traveling, they see it differently from the outside, from other countries abroad, or from Africa, and the different parts of Africa. They now see them as a travel destination. So how can we do it in Edo State? Because in Edo, we have so many history, we have everything, we have the Asian. It's just like the Spanish. What is about them, about their tourism? Why is it so big and great? It's because most of their cities are ancient cities, because they have ancient histories. And when they say that it's not enough, they create new activities, they create new things that people might like to look at, people might like to go there and see, people might like to experience. They create new things. So that means that also the same thing can be done in Nigeria, in Edo State. A lot of different things can be done. We already have the history, we have the tradition, we have all that. If there is something that we don't have, I think that can be created. I think that can be we should check and find out what we can do. It's just like a lot of other tourist attractions in different countries. They were just created. It's just to have the imagination to think about it, look at what other countries have, look at what they're doing in terms of that, how much they spend on that. And even you find out that there are a lot of small attractions that the government will be able to create with private, without really investing so much into it, and it will be very, very successful. One of the ways that the Spanish have done it is many of the Spanish have tried, apart from the government running some of the things, they have tried to also partner with private investors, private organization, because if you look at it, which I think Nigeria is really in need of, trying to do something, partner with private investors, private companies, private things. Because when the government, we've seen that whenever the government takes things on its own and a new government comes in, it's like maybe that new government doesn't have the idea that the first one have. It's just going to be taken off. It's even forgotten, or maybe they just neglect it, and it's all waste of money. So that is why private is very important, that the government, in terms of tourism, should partner with private investors, private companies. The reason of partnership is to make whatever they have created, their inspiration, all the things that they have put into it, to make it last, to make it that it becomes something that continues, that doesn't stop when they stop working or when they leave office. So that is why it's very important. If the government is able to partner with private people, private investors, private organizations, then the government have the right to question the private companies and said, oh, we invested some money into this in this your company, why is this thing not done, what happened? They can inspect those projects, they can go into it and look at if those projects were successful, how do they do it, and they can so the private investors on the other hand, and the private companies on the other hand, will have to also work very hard, because they know that this is not just my money alone. The government have invested some part into this whatever we're doing. We're supposed to give sources, and they are very into it, to work very hard in giving those sources, because they know that somebody is going to ask them, what have you done, or how did you do it, what is this project, how did it go? But in a position where the government just runs it itself, then the government doesn't have anybody that questions them. It's very difficult for normal people or the other people to question the government and say, what happened to the project, what happened to this? We often know that you don't get any answer. But if the government led a platform where they partner with private investors, private companies, all that organizations, they can easily question the private. How did the project go? How did it happen? With full power and authority, which is really nice, and in the long run, it will benefit a lot of people and everything. So we have to be really thinking straight now, because when we talk about Edo State and we talk about Benin, we should realize that Edo State is big, and we should realize that there are a lot of youth, not just in Benin, that is outside Edo State. A lot of youth surrounding different places in Edo State that needs jobs, that wants to come to Benin as the capital city of Edo State to look for a job, because that is what people do. People move from where they are and go to their capital city to look for a job. And these young people are going to be coming soon. They are growing up, they are coming soon to say, oh, we're going to Benin City, that's the capital, we're going there, that's where we want to go and look for a job, we want to go and look for better life. What does now Benin have to offer them? That is the question. What has Benin to offer them in return when they comes? So that is why I am thinking that tourism can be a way of creating jobs for these young people that are upcoming, so that at the same time they can work, study, and do both at the same time. Because if you look at more Western countries, that is what young people are doing. They are working and schooling. They're going to school, they're studying, and at the same time they are working part-time work. They're trying to work. Imagine you can go to, maybe you go to school, you are able to work in the evening in one place or the other. When you come back, before you go home and sleep, that will also help and support, especially women, as young boys and girls. So that is a big opportunity that we should start to look into in Edo State, because when you cannot create jobs for people in different ways, you have to think about how many ways you can create job for them. If you don't have this, because in so many years we have depend on oil, thinking that oil, there should be that's the big job, that is that. But times have changed. It's no longer like that. We should start to think about 100 ways that jobs can be created. Everything that you do, even the small businesses, encouraging them, because even the small businesses, they one way or the other, they are going to hire somebody, one or two people, to work there, and those one or two people are going to get salary and be able to manage themselves. Even that, yes. So in that case, that is where the government have to try find a way. How do we really support? How can they support small businesses, upcoming ones? How can they lay the platform for business or people that wants to do something in the city there? How do they create all those things? Those are those things that they need to look at, they need to look into, so that we can make Edo State a better place for the upcoming youth. Because when you don't create jobs, just any kind of job for them to work, something they can do and see themselves a little bit important and feel that it matters, then you're creating a really, really big problem for the state. Because the morning, people don't understand these things, that it's better to create jobs, it's better to keep the youth busy, the people busy, it's better to keep them busy than letting them roam around and trying to figure out how to solve their own problem, because that will cause another problems. That's where security comes in. If you don't want to use the money to create jobs, you will use the money for security problems, and which you cannot really solve easily. So it's better to try to see to the problems. How do we do these things? How do we see how we can keep these people busy, keep the youth busy, give them jobs, something to do, do a lot of things like that, and see how they can manage, create opportunities for them, let them have different things to think about, and said, okay, I can work here, I can take this program here, I can do this. And when they are occupied with their mind and they feel important in the society and they feel part of the society, then there will be less crime. So please, let's start to look into the right direction, and let's start to think about how to do the right thing. I think that the government should create a platform, a great platform, for people that think that they want to invest, to be able to invest. People that want to invest in different things should be able to invest, because that is how job is being created. That is when you create job. You don't just create jobs in sitting down or talking. You create jobs in giving opportunities, especially to the people that wants to invest in tourism or different things that they want to invest in. So I think that all that should be done, and Edo State have the capacity to welcome visitors. I can take different visitors, different tourists from different destinations. Edo State is a place that people love so much, and that gives another people wants to know more about the history, what happens, the tradition. We just have so much to give, and this might be the time to dive into it and said, oh, let's do this. How do we start? People are thinking, maybe the question is, how do we really start? Maybe they don't know how to start. How do we start? We have to exploit the new opportunities. We have to exploit things. We have to see what can we give. We have to look into different direction. How can we create more attraction? The ones that we already have, how can we maintain it? What can we do? All those things are things to look. How do we make it more attractive? Now the internet is there to just use as a place to just as an awareness to people, to create. When you want to connect people, you already have different platforms that can bring this thing out, talk about it, bring it to the light, like people now understand, okay, this thing is like this. So that opportunity is already there. So what do we not need? We need to explore. We need to see different things. How can we do this and do that? If Lagos State, I will have to say that Lagos State has done so well in different ways. Even they still have different places, companies here and there, but they are still thinking of diving into tourism. They still want to dive into it because they know the potential. They know what it is. They know that if that comes really big, they're going to make a lot of money from it. For especially youth, they are going to create jobs and keep people busy, and people not thinking about how to manage their life, because everything about life is how do you manage your life, how do you manage day-to-day activities, how do you keep the spending, how do you manage, especially now that things are so expensive. Yes, things are very expensive, but if you have a job that can provide a little bit of money that you can plan on, It's better than not having anything at all, not having any job, just roaming around and thinking and waiting for miracles to happen. That's why people believe so much on miracles, when in reality, yes, miracles do exist, but it's not like we think about it. It's not like the way people wait for miracles to happen, because it doesn't really happen like that. So that's why people get disappointed while waiting for such things, because there is no other alternative. So this video was supposed to be just 10 minutes, but now it's almost 15 minutes. So that is tourism. It can really create job. It can do a lot of things. So for me, I think that government should try very hard to look into the private sector, the people that are investing in private sector related to tourism. They should try to look into it and see, how do we work with these people? What can we do with these people? What are the opportunities these companies have to offer, so that they can use them and use them to create better things in the state, so that they can use that opportunity, use them as a ways of making things better, or as a way of making their own dream come true, instead of them just thinking they can do it all alone. They want to run the whole thing when they know that it's never possible to do things alone. Akugbe oyetin, that word is a very important word, and should be very important. It should be something very important to say to one another in Benin or in Edo State, that akugbe oyetin. When you want to do something alone, you can never get success. You need someone else. Even having a child, you cannot do it alone. You need another partner. So so it's nothing you can sit alone and do yourself. In this world, this life that we are now, you cannot do things alone. You need someone else to say, let's do this together. So akugbe, nana agakugbe or itima. So we have to find a way to think, reason together, think together, find solutions together in order to succeed. That's what we should be doing, so that we can be great again. So thank you for this video. Please don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And if you're thinking about tourism, or you have a lot of things that you want to share with us, please do send a message. I will leave my phone number there. If you have any questions or something you want to leave a comment, please feel free to leave a comment. Comments are very welcome. Let me hear what you think, because you know, when you hear, everybody should be kind of open for comments, open for people to say what they think and what their own ideas, their own imagination, or whatever. They should be allowed, because when people speak about something, when they tell you maybe there are things that you're not thinking about, you start thinking about it, because maybe they can remind you of so many things that you should be doing, or you should be thinking about, or the points that you miss. So feel free to leave a message and tell me what you think in terms of tourism, and what you think, if you think our state is ripe enough, and how we should start, what we should do, and how we should do it, and how do we do these things. So please feel free to leave a message, and thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.